Hello, everyone. We're getting started. We are here in the WDIA studios live. I'm trichologist Lisa Akbir. As you know, you're here, doctor. And today I'm excited about the show. We're going to go live. As you know, have a I'm live on WDIA. And if you want to call your friends and say, hey, tune in and listen in and call in, you can do that if you have the iHeartRadio. I'm live on WGIA. The iHeartRadio app is free to download. And so, hey guys, I just want you guys to be able to tune in to turn that down. There we go. Be able to tune in to see me today and ask questions. We're going to talk about hair and scalp analysis today, just so you know. Hair and scalp analysis, what is that? We're coming on the air a little late on the studio. It's a live talk show. And in my ears, let's pull that up just a little bit. Here we go. In my ears, we had the last show that's right before me. We'll be coming on in just a minute. So I'm excited about you guys signing in and coming on because this is going to be a great show. This is going to be a great show. Talk about hair and scalp analysis and what is that for? Why do we need hair and scalp analysis? What's the benefit of it? And so with that, we'll end up speaking about some other things like hair loss and anything that can be benefited or found or problems that can be found by receiving a hair and scalp analysis. So we'll go on live in just a minute, but I always like to, if I can, bring you guys in early. Set on here, guys, but you'll get all the and you'll know the topic before everyone else will. If you want to stream live or tune in live, you can also or call in live. You can call 901-535-9342, and that's 901-535-9342. We're going to try to stay online. Sometimes it goes in and out, so let's see what we're doing here. Okay, great. All righty. Here we are. So sometimes it does that with the internet. So hopefully your internet is acting really well. Sometimes our internet acts up over here in the studio. Okay, all right. We've got about 2 minutes. So get your questions, your chat room. If you're on and you can hear me, just say hello. I'm just going to say hi, y'all. And welcome to my show. Thanks, guys.
Hey, today. Join us next time on Funky Politics, where we keep it real, we keep it right, and we always keep it funky, brother. Keep it funky right now.
Okay, guys. Hello.
Funky Politics, recorded live at LPI Studios. Executive producer Larry Robinson. Music curation Marcus Ward and Larry Robinson. Design and web by Daniel Coates. Funky Politics.
All righty. Okay, guys. All right, we're coming on in just a second. And the phones will be open. So if you want to get your questions up on right now, we can get those on in my chat room and you guys will get the first questions. All right. I have my Hillary Girl button, my Black Lives Matter button, and I Ask the Hair Doctor button on the side. There we go. So we're good and we're ready to go. Okay, so it's 6 after. Okay, guys, hold on. Show is starting in just a second.
All 3-piece comforter sets $19.99. And save 30% plus an extra 15% on toasters, grills, fryers, coffee, and more. Plus, Plenty members can earn points every day for savings at Macy's. Savings on regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
No, 30 seconds.
Okay.
A slow clap goes out to your biker alter ego. You might be mild-mannered Michael in the office, the guy known for raising his hand in meetings, but out on the open road, it's Motor Mike. Geico supports you and your bike, Motor Mike, because beyond cars, Geico insures motorcycles. Those glorious vroom machines. With 24/7 customer service and great rates, the only thing you'll be raising from now on is a heck of a good time. So head out on the highway and make that road yours, Mike. Make it yours.
Geico Motorcycle. See how much you could save. You're listening to WDIA Memphis. The opinions and comments for the following program are not necessarily those of the staff and management of iHeartMedia.
Okay, hi there. Thank you. I love all of you. Love my videos. I love you guys. I pray that you have a blessed week. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay, we're ready.
We don't know what to do. We need the hair doctor. Is she a medical doctor? No, she is a hair doctor. Oh, I get it. She's a hair doctor, psychologist.
Hi there. Hello, everyone. Woohoo! We are live today on the air in the WDIA studio. We are live, and I am coming to you to talk to you about your hair and your scalp. So, I mean, you guys, I get so excited about the show. First, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday and happy October, and it's fall. You know what? This is a great month for me because this month is my mom's birthday month. So I'm always really excited. Every year that I am blessed to have my mom in my life, I think she is in her 80s now, and we're just lucky. So today we had a pre-birthday dinner for her, and it was so good. And everybody, my sisters and my brother was there. We had one sister that has gone on to be with there, and it was really great. And I just love my sisters, and I love being with my family. I just love them. I love you guys, the Cyber family. Thank you guys for being today, and thank you so much. We're going to talk. I'm really excited about the show. Mom, thank you. I will let's see. We're going to talk about hair and scalp analysis. Yeah, I don't know. I'm having problems with my internet. I hope you guys are not having problems with yours out there. But anyways, I see you guys are tuning in. But we're going to talk about hair and scalp analysis today. Why do we need hair and scalp analysis? What is a hair and scalp analysis? I get so many questions about that when I see people out there they're asking these questions about what I do. And what I do pretty much every day when I'm in my clinic is that I do hair and scalp analysis. Hair and scalp, or it's a microscopic and physical examination of the hair and scalp. So today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how you can receive a hair and scalp analysis. Oh, guys, hold on. I know we're losing our internet, folks, because my show, let's see if we can get that to rotate back on. But anyway, so just listen up on your iHeartRadio, guys, if you can, because sometimes the show will do that. I don't know why it just kind of blinks out like that. But anyways, and you can call in. My number is 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. It sounds like we have a caller already. Let's go to our phone lines. Hello, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. Hi. I'm well. Hi, Anita. Nisi is fine. She's not here today. I don't know. Nisi is... I don't know. Nisi probably won't be up here with me much because she has 2 new grandbabies. I don't know if you guys knew she had twins. So we won't be seeing Nisi much in the station. But I will tell, my mom's birthday is the 19th of October. Yes, she's a wonderful. We're so thankful. She's a wonderful lady, and we're so thankful that we're so thankful that she's just with us right now because that's such a huge blessing. Okay, her name is Clara. Most people say Miss Clara. Yeah, because she's in her 80s. Miss Clara. That's yeah, my mom. Thank you. That's so sweet of you. That's right. That's right. Sure. Okay. A hair and scalp analysis. Well, I always tell patients that, or individuals who ask, if you have a situation where you are having a chronic problem and you just can't get rid of it. Like, for example, and let me just make sure my internet folks know your question. Anita wanted to know what are the signs, or how do you know when you recognize whether you really need to get a hair and scalp analysis? And it's chronic situations where you may have a chronic itch and you're not sure what's going on. And even some cases you've been to the dermatologist and you're taking certain medications, there's some side effects, dry hair, or putting certain medicated shampoos, things like that. We're kind of the bridge between trichologists. We're the bridge between analysis with the actual, or a visit with a dermatologist and a visit with your salon. Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, if your hair is breaking, then you're going to see, you can see one of three things, and you may see all of them. You're going to see these little short pieces of hairs that are coming out, and they're the size of your strand, like fullness, but they're short. Or you're going to see these long pieces that are the length of your strand, full length of your strand, not thighs, but full length. And then at that point, these particular strands, they'll just be really, really thin. And then if you, this is breakage, or you'll just have some pieces that are random sizes throughout. Now, if it's shedding, you're going to see something called a club-like tissue, a little knot on the end. So that's the best thing to look for. If you don't see it's called a hair bulb on the tip end of your strand, then that hair, or either end, then that is not shedding hair. That is hair breakage. Well, if it's shedding, then we need to start collect your strands. And if most of the strands that you're getting and the numbers are large, then you'll need to schedule an analysis. Because what we can do is we can let you know whether this is natural shedding or if it's something that's the growth cycle is the growth. You have the anagen, the telogen, which is shedding, and then the catagen, which is that resting period. Well, you can have a strand that's shedding prematurely. So it's shedding when it should be growing. And we'll be able to tell you that. Also, if you are shedding, then we'll be able to view the density, the hairs per square inch on your scalp, because in an analysis, you get a microscopic view. So then we'll see, okay, there's hairs missing in follicles. So we'll be able to do that as well. So it's really a cool thing because it allows you to be sure that, and one of the things it helps with prevention, it allows you to be sure that there's nothing that's headed down the road. So if you think, well, okay, maybe I'm not having any problems, but I'm seeing a few hairs more than I used to, then you can offset that. You will be more proactive instead of reactive, which is so cool. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you, Anita. You too. One of the things Anita was asking was menopause. Would that have something to do with you losing hair? Menopause can play a role. The follicles can be, you can have a hormonal imbalance where as we go through the change of life for menopause. And in my book, Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair at Any Age, I talk a lot about that. You can have a problem with premature shedding. You can have a problem of losing hair excessively from the follicle because of hormonal imbalances, an endocrinologist is the best, I think, the best practitioner to see for that problem, because they can do a hormonal workup. In addition to that, they can do some other tests and exams to just dealing with any autoimmune problems. So if it's not hormonal, it may be something else. So yes, to answer your question, Anita, you can have menopausal hair loss, but the follicle has to be sensitive to that. Just because you're menopausal or you're going through the change of life does not mean that you're going to lose hair. It just means that it is a possibility that you could lose hair. But your follicle will have to be sensitive to that particular problem. And this is where your body, just as it starts to produce more testosterone and the estrogen levels start to drop, then you have that imbalance, and then you could possibly, it could trigger hair loss. Not always, but it could trigger that. And it triggers other things as well. So there's a book by Dr. Susan Larkin called Before the Change, which I highly recommend. And she talks a lot about ways to really keep your body where it needs to be in a natural way as you go through the change of life. So that's another one, Anita, I would highly recommend for you. Okay, oh, someone asked the number. And yeah, thank you so much for giving the number out. Yes, we're live here, and if you want to call in, you can do so at 901-535-9342, and that's 901-535-9342. And today we're talking about hair and scalp analysis. What is an analysis? Why should we have an analysis? What's the benefit, as Anita asked? Yeah, should everyone have them? Should you only have them when you have hair problems? These are all the questions that I get all the time. And I wanted to talk about this because this is my primary job in my institute. You know, my institute, I have a school, I have the cosmetology school, I have my trichology school where I partner with Southwest College, and I have my salon, I have my clinic. And one of the parts of the clinic, I work and do examination. And I have a wonderful, lovely team. I just got to give a shout out to my team because they're just great. You know, I'm blessed to have people who really have a heart for folks, because you really have to be, that way. I pray for my team every day, because what I want for them to have a heart for people, because the women who come in, men and even children who come in to see us, they're suffering from hair loss or hair problems or scalp problems, and they really want answers. And so I'm really blessed. But what I do each and every day in my institute is I do hair, when I'm in the institute, I do hair and scalp analysis. And that's a microscopic and physical examination of the hair and scalp. So let's first talk about hair analysis and pretty much where this fits within the scheme of things. You have cosmetologists, dermatologists, and then you have trichologists. Trichology is the science and study of hair, its diseases, and its disorders. And basically what I do is I practice as a trichologist. I'm also a licensed esthetician as well as a licensed cosmetologist. I'm an author. I'm a researcher. I'm a manufacturer of products. And so I'm really, really involved. I stopped hair for many years before I went into the industry, or into the part of our industry as a cosmetologist. So that's really, really something that I want you guys to know. I've been in this for 40 years. Oh my goodness, a long time. All right, so we have a question. One of the on the chat said, do our scalps need oil? That's an outstanding question. Oil, we're supposed to supply, our scalp is supposed to supply oil from our sebaceous glands. Those are oil glands that are attached right below the mouth of the follicle against the actual tube-like impression called hair follicle. Well, sometimes the mouth of the follicle, you can have a blockage there where you're not benefiting from those oils, or you can, because your scalp is just completely blocked, and the buildup is on your scalp, so you're not benefiting. Sometimes there's damage to the scalp where your scalp is just really, the oils come up, they're busy trying to help to stabilize the skin and help it to renew. Sometimes that's the case. And in many cases, there's a situation where your scalp is just naturally dry. Your sebaceous glands are just not giving you the oils you need. So in that case, then you can oil your scalp. Oil is a support product. It is a support, it's something that will support an area of your hair scalp wherever you need it. So if your scalp is dry, or if you are experiencing dryness, and even sometimes itchy, because one of the signs of itchy scalp is a dry scalp, but it doesn't always solve the problem. Well, if that's the case, then you will use oil. The epidermis will hold 20% of its weight in moisture if the oil is sealed across the top of the epidermis. So in that case, you should oil. With that being said, we need to be sure that we're using the right oils. And we're going to talk about that in just a second, but we're going to go to our phone lines. Hello there, and welcome to Ask Hair Doctor. You have a question for me? I'm well. How are you? Thank you for calling. Mm-hmm. 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 So it's hairs. Okay. Well, what the question is, you have natural hair and you're noticing these straight hairs and you're just wondering why they're there. What can you do about it? Now, let me ask you a question. Those straight hairs, are you noticing it just mostly on the ends, or when you part your hair, you're noticing that hair straight as it emerges out of the scalp? Okay, yeah, we can have multiple type hair. We can have multiple texture and multiple type. Multiple type tells you the shape of your hair, and you can absolutely, if it's emerging from your scalp straight, then that is the hair. That's the hair that the follicle is developing. So with that, you can still, this is how you can offset. If it's causing problems with your style, then you will need to twist and tuck that area wherever you're having it. Would you say it's 5% or less or more hair that's straight? So 50-50? No, 5. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, well, what I would do is over the entire head, instead of when you do your shampoos and go, then once you actually put all your leave-in products on, and I would take my hair and pull it. It depends on the length. How long is your hair? Okay, so I would take products on, let it sit, then I would put it back in a scrunchie, and then you have one or two options. You can take your hair, and the easiest way and the quickest way is to tuck that scrunchie. You know how you make a ponytail and you just about to pull the last ends of it through, but you would leave those ends tucked. And then just finish what you're doing and go around the house and just whatever, and get dressed, put your makeup on, do whatever. And then at that point, I would take I would take that down and it will be curlier. The other piece is to take your ponytail, plait it, and then just roll the plait with like a sentinel roller. So, or roll it around your finger and tuck it, and just let it sit that way for, you know, the duration of the time getting dressed, and then take it down. And what will happen, because keep in mind with straight hair, you can make straight hair do whatever you want it to do as long as you set it that way. So even though those little hairs are straight, they will set in place and they'll look more like the curly hairs. Just something small, and it's so easy, a little tip. And I do that with my hair when I want to have my fro do certain things. Like if I want a tighter fro, I may do more twists and tuck all those. But if I want to stretch my fro out, I pull it back in the scrunchie and then I tuck it, stretches the hair. But it also is used to control the curl pattern or the straight pattern. Well, if the hair itself is getting thinner, and but it's still thick at the scalp, then you can definitely do something about that. Number one, there's probably some. Do you have detangling sessions? Yeah. Well, have you viewed my video on detangling? Yeah, yeah. Like, super. I'm gonna see if I'm smart enough here to multitask and pull that up and put a link there on the detangling video, because that will be, and I'll post it here in the chat box if it'll let me, and then I can you can look at that, because it's really great. I mean, just to know how to go through your hair and not bully it, because most of the time we bully our hair into place. I mean, we literally bully it. Yeah, and that's what I want you to be careful about, because some of that is causing the straight hair. I can tell you, because your hair can overprocess from overexposure. Overexposure can come from heat and chemicals. That was our first study that we discovered. First, we thought it was just chemicals. Then we realized it was heat as well. Now we know that it's from overexposure. Anything that will rough or pull or tear or rip the cuticle will expose the cortex. Your shape, your type of hair is determined in your cortical fibers. When that hair is, the cuticle is ripped and torn like we do in detangling, then you will open and expose that cortex, and you can cause permanently straightening to your hair. So yeah, it's something that you really want to kind of think about as well. So I always tell my patients that the way we manage our hair is going to be crucial. How we handle it, because in most cases we literally bully our hair into a style. We don't try to, we don't want to, but we don't know anything else to do. So that makes it really, really challenging. So if you can fix that, I think that you're going to see a major difference. The other piece, something happened to damage that cuticle. Apparently, if you're having thinner ends, what you need to do is make sure you're deep conditioning at least once a week. Try to avoid co-washing, because when you co-wash, you get this negative buildup, so it makes it harder for your conditioners and the products that benefit you to work. So you really have to be careful with that. So just really follow this detangling. Let's see if I can get it posted there. I've got the link here. Let's see if it'll show up. I think it did. Let's see. Let me see if they'll let me. It's pretty long. I may have to do it in pieces. Let's try this again. Detangling. I'm going to put detangling part 1 and 2, and then I'm going to put the links. Part 1 will be separate from part 2, because I think that's what. Yeah, there are 2 parts, and it's me detangling my own hair. Okay, so that one's up. So you see detangling part 1 and 2, and then that's part 1 that's there. And now I'm going to put part 2 up. Let's see if I can get part 2. Here we go. Now let's try and post that one. Now, so you have part 2, and it's detangling part 1 and 2. There we go. And if you click on that link or copy and paste that link, you'll go right to those videos. Yeah, keep me posted, please. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and keep me posted. I want to know that you're doing okay with this hair. I want to make sure you're managing it well. We're not bullying it, and I'm just making an assumption with that bullying, so forgive me. But you're and I want to make sure that you are, just doing what you need to do with your own hair and scalp, and just really have the best hair that you can possibly have. So you can email me, lisa@lisaackberry.com, and let me make sure I put my email address up there so everyone can email me. And I love getting y'all's emails. Now, keep in mind that I am busy, but I always get around to them. But what you can do, I'm going to put my telephone number of my institute. If something happens where you're like, well, I emailed her and I didn't get her, then you can call the institute, and that number, I'll give it to you, and my email address, I'll give it as well. My email address is lisa@lisaackberry.com. And I'm going to post that, and that's LISA@LISAAKBARI.com. And then my number to my institute is 901-380-4445. You're so welcome. Thank you so much for calling in. You too. Bye-bye. Yeah, that was so cool. I forgot to ask her where was she from. But we have folks calling in all the time who are asking questions about really managing their hair. I'm going to get my number. It's hard for me to do this little multitask thing, guys. And this is the first number I'm going to give you is the 901-380-4445. And that is my institute. You can call and say, hey, listen, I am emailing Dr. Ackberry and I haven't got a response. And then I'll go in and just give your name and I'll search for your email. So that's the World Trichology Institute. And then you can email me, and I will get back to you. Okay, all right, so there's my number, and my email address is Lisa. Let's see. Get that in. My phone lines are open. If you're just tuning in, I'm trichologist Lisa Ackberry, and we're here today talking about hair and scalp analysis, or whatever you like to talk about as it relates to your hair and scalp. I'm here talking to you about why you should have a hair and scalp analysis. What are the benefits of having a hair and scalp analysis? What is a hair and scalp analysis? And as we have the caller earlier asking about hair type, and why do we have this, why does she have straight hairs? And that was a pretty good question, because I think that we forget, if we have natural hair, we think, okay, it's just going to be kinky. If I have straight hair, it's just going to be straight. But we actually have multiple types of hair. We definitely have multiple textures. Type deals with the shape, and texture deals with the size. So we definitely have this multiple hair, and we just have to learn how to work with it and understand that. And when we understand the texture and type, then we'll do much better in managing our hair. And that bullying our hair in place is no good. We don't want to do that. We don't want to bully our hair in place and do with some of these hard detangling steps. So if you want to email me, lisa@lisaackberry.com, and you're not online right now, you're just listening in by radio, then you can definitely email me, and I will send you a link to the detangling video. I do want to say this because we're having some issues with keeping the live streaming going. It's like going in and out. So guys, please download that iHeartRadio app so you can hear me. I'm here at WDIA Studios, and if you download that iHeart app, then you can get me and listen up. My number is 535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. So that's Lisa at Lisa, AKBARI.com. I think that's going to be crucial as well. Let me ask you guys to download the iHeart. So there's analysis. We talked about the how do you know when you need one? If you have a chronic situation where your hair is, you're losing hair, you've tried conditioning products, you've tried, I don't know, you've tried everything, you know how to do, and you're still losing hair. And you know, you need an analysis because that'll deal with all your specific problems. I'm going to go back to our phone lines, but I did say we're going to talk about oils and knowing the type in just a second. Hi there, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. Do you have a question for me? Okay, first we have to recognize that not all flakes are equal. So it may not be dandruff. It could be something that's, it could be like scalp, other pollutants like hair product, or it could be other environmental like dust, dirt, and debris, and it solidifies and it looks like a flake, or it could be dandruff. But let me tell you where you start at home. This is something you could do at home. First, stay away from the baby shampoos because they tend to dehydrate more. They don't help. So, and this is something you could try at home, and then we're going to move up to, if that doesn't work, what will you do next? Okay, so the next thing you want to do is make sure that you take a clarifying shampoo. Make sure you look on the back of the bottle. Look for a little tiny number on the back of that clarifying bottle of shampoo, and look for 4.5 to 5.5. It will need to say something within that range because that's the pH of our hair and scalp. If you use shampoos, pH tells how strong, how alkaline it is, or how acidic it is. And that's the pH of the hair and scalp. It's more acidic in reaction. So what it uses that clarifying shampoo. Apply that to her hair using gloves and just kind of massage her hair. How old is she? Okay, so she has some length to her hair. Is it long? Okay. All right, so what you want to use is an applicator bottle, put the shampoo in. Then you want to take the applicator bottle and just part her hair and squeeze in the shampoo. Start on one side of the head and work your way all the way around. Take your fingers, go underneath and massage in the flakiest areas, making sure you get that shampoo, clarifying shampoo down in her scalp. And then after that, you want to make sure that you are going in and just making sure that you put a cotton around the head, plastic cap on her head, and then after the plastic cap, sit her under a hot dryer. So you want to preheat the dryer before she gets done. So once you sit her on that hot dryer, what's going to happen? Her scalp is going to try and sweat. As her scalp sweats, it's going to help to detox her scalp. So it's going to dump its waste and salt. So whatever's sitting on that scalp and all the waste, it's going to try to sweat it out. Once she's sat for 10 minutes, 15, it will be enough. Then you shampoo. Rinse it with warm as she can stand it. Don't burn her scalp. And then after you do that, you're going to do 2 shampoo applications. Once you finish that, when she comes out, take your towel blot her hair and scalp, and then make sure you go back and then you put in, we have scalp treatments. I'm going to recommend one to you. It's a scalp treatment level 1. And that's on our website. You can do that. You can try and make up some on your own. You can do things like, you can use various oils, but our scalp treatments have these antifungal, anti-itch oils in them. You put that on and you let that sit on with her conditioner. You go from ear to ear, making sure you oil the scalp. Once you do that, you put her conditioner on. She sits in the dryer with her conditioner, 15, 20 minutes, rinse that off. Then this time you don't want her to sweat, so you want to give her some water, make sure she's cool, and sit her under a warm dryer. And then after that's rinsed off, then you're going to oil her scalp while her hair is wet. And once you do that treatment, this is like a home treatment you could do. Once you do that for about 7 weeks, it should go away. If it doesn't go away, then you have 2 options. One, you can try something natural by seeing a trichologist so that we can differentiate those flakes. We can see really what this is and why she's flaking. Or you can do something that's more medical where you can see a dermatologist. And that's what I would recommend. And she'll be fine. Keep me posted. Are you online ever? You online? Okay. Oh, yes, please. And whenever you get online, email me and keep me posted on how she's doing, so I can kind of hold your hand through this process. I can send you like a video of, like you can send me a list of questions and I can send you a video and going line per line in the answers. All right, so I'll be there for you. I'll be you and your grandbaby's hair doctor. Thank you. Have a great Sunday. Bye-bye. It's a pretty big deal. I mean, that's one of the things with the hair and scalp analysis. When you have flakes and itchy scalp, that will drive you crazy. And guys, I want you to please download the iHeart app because we're really having some problems. So at least you could hear me. A lot going in and out on the internet today. So I'm just going to post that. The iHeart app. There we go. Now, all right, guys. All right, so we are here live at the WDI studios and in the iHeartRadio. So you can hear me all over the world, actually. If you're tuned in, tell your friends. I'm here each and every Sunday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm trichologist Lisa Eckberry. If you're just tuning in, our phone lines are open at 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. And our chat room is open. You can go to YouTube and just type in Lisa Eckberry and you will find me streaming live, and that's LISA AKBARI. All right, so we're talking about hair analysis, and as promised, I wanted to talk to you about oils because not all oils are equal. Some are really great. And we were raised with all these different things, these products and these oils. If you raise your scalp, then you should be okay. Well, that's not necessarily true. So make sure that you understand. Now, how would you know the difference between oils? First, you want an oil, you don't want a grease. You want to take a look in the product. Now, you can have those liquid oils, and you know, hey, those are more liquids, they're not as solid. Then we know that might be the right one. Well, not necessarily. It depends on how dense the oil is as it spreads on your skin. So this is how you test the oil to know the oil. You take a small amount, put it on your forefinger, slide it on the back of your hand. If it goes in and you have a nice shine and it's not sticky, then it's going to be scalp friendly and hair friendly. This is the easiest way. It's something on my nose. It's the easiest way to know whether it's going to be something that's going to cause a negative buildup. When we do our microscopic and physical examinations of the hair and scalp analysis, that's one of the things I look for. I look for pollutants. That's one of the things we do. And we're going to start with the scalp itself, and talk about how you benefit from a hair and scalp analysis. How does your scalp benefit? Your scalp benefits by, what we do is we check to see the density, the hairs per square inch, if they are consistent in numbers, if we're having balding. If you have early stage of alopecia or balding, then the analysis will reveal that. You will have what we call inconsistency in the density within the units. A follicular unit is the tube-like pore that holds all the follicles, and each follicle holds the hair. With the analysis, when you have early alopecia or balding, then it shows up in that microscopic view of that unit. And we go up and down the scalp, checking various units in different parts of the head, and we look for that. The other thing we look for is we look to see what's on the scalp. Like if you have a chronic itch or flake, we look to see and differentiate those flakes. We look to see if this is cosmetic in nature, environmental in nature, or if it's just scalp. Your scalp will shed its dead cells on a continuous basis. Our scalp can, with the improper hygiene, or like if we're not shampooing enough, or as often as we need to, or we don't have the proper shampoo, then your scalp can become very polluted. So when it sheds its cells, instead of them shedding away or being shampooed away, you can have them just self-pollute your scalp. So then you will have the microscopic view will tell us whether this is dandruff, or which danger by definition is an excessive peeling of the scalp. It will tell us if that's happening. We're talking about here in Scalp Analysis. If you're just tuning in, I am trichologist Lisa Ackberry, and we're talking about why and what and to hair and scalp analysis. Our phone lines are open at 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. So the other thing with the hair and scalp analysis is when you're viewing the scalp, we can look at the cosmetic pollutants and say, okay, this is not, you're shampooing, but you're not using clean products. Your shampoo is not cleaning your hair. We'll look in certain areas, especially if you have an itch. We'll look for that to see if this is environmental, work on a certain type of job, or if you work in a dusty environment. Sometimes, I have patients who work and they go to conventions and they see all these things and problems with they travel, they have a lot of environmental pollutants. So it's just a lot. It doesn't always mean that you're in some type of dirty environment like working outside. It can be inside as well. Let's take a look at a question we have on chat. It said, if someone has a gluten sensitivity, could they also be sensitive to the hydrogenized, Lisa, wheat protein used in many hair products? I would have to say it is a possibility, but I don't really believe. I have noticed that my patients who are gluten sensitive, who they don't really have a problem with the surface products being put on. Usually it's within the system, the body system, what you put in your mouth. Contact dermatitis is what happens generally if you get if something is going on that you're sensitive to, say on your, sorry, my chair adjusted, say on your skin. If it will generally have redness, irritations, things of that sort. But I would have to say I don't believe that's the case. If someone knows more about that, you're welcome to call in. And I just have not experienced patients with those problems that have had problems with using the wheat proteins on their hair and on their scalp. Because keep in mind, I know scalp is skin and skin is part of the body, but your epidermis protects you from a lot of things that you come in contact with. Your actual hair is just dead keratinized cells. So you generally don't have a problem with the sensitivity, definitely as it relates to your hair. And with your skin coming in contact, generally you will have a reaction and you will know. Your skin will be red and irritated or itchy. You will have problems like that. So let's talk about any symptoms that you may have. And if you're using products that have the wheat protein in it, then let's just see if that's the case, and then we can determine from there. Well, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about hair and scalp analysis, and we're just talking about what happens within a hair and scalp analysis. Our phone lines are open at 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. And you're welcome to speak to me about anything relating to your hair and scalp. You can call in, or you can get on my chat room like we've got. It's pretty full right now. Thank you guys so much for chatting in and tuning in and calling in. I just love you guys. And this is a wonderful, happy Sunday. I mean, it's a big deal to have you all had your Sunday dinner. We've had our church on, and now we're ready to chat about hair. Wow, isn't that great? Being able to do that. And I think it's so important. And I know a lot of times, I've had patients to come in and say, first, they sit down and they say, well, am I being vain? Am I being vain? My hair, I have hair, but my hair won't do this and it won't do that. Does that make me vain? No. And I always tell them, I have answered the same one all the time. Well, let's see. Is it vain if you break your arm and you're upset about it? No. Your hair is a part of you. And if it's not doing what it's supposed to do, or it's damaged in any way, then you have a right to see about it. And you have an obligation to see about it, okay? All right, so just remember that. All right, so one of the other things that I want to mention, because I have patients who come in who have chronic itchy scalp. And one of the things that I found with the hair and scalp analysis, so crucial that we can discover using a 50x lens, which just gives the magnification about 50%. What I notice is ingrown hairs. That is a huge thing with a lot of folks. Hairs that, and it's a little different. An ingrown hair on your scalp is a little different from an ingrown hair on your, say, on your neck or anywhere else with men on the chin. It's a little different. The hair doesn't actually grow out and grow back in. The hair becomes sandwiched between your epidermis, which is the top skin, and your whatever solidified pollutants are on the surface. The hair becomes sandwiched and it starts to press against the epidermis, and it can itch like crazy. And sometimes it does not, the hair is not able to emerge because of these solidified pollutants. And we can see them. They look like scalp plugs, cosmetic plugs, or environmental plugs. When we see them, we can see that that is part of the reason why you're itching. So those are things that you find out in an analysis as well. Let's see. Again, I have to keep saying my phone lines are open at 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. And we're having a great show today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Or you can join me on my chat on YouTube. I'm streaming live right now, and that's Lisa Akberry on YouTube. And you'll bring up my app, my live streaming, and we're having a bit of a problem, so please download the iHeart app so that you can at least hear me when I fade out on the live streaming today. We're having some challenges, technology. Can't live with it, can't live without it. Oh, well, what can we do? Woe is me. Okay, guys, so we're having a great time today. And let's talk about the hair with a hair and scalp analysis. With the hair and scalp analysis, what I find is this chronic breakage. It's so great with scalp and hair and scalp analysis because the great thing is we could deal with all of your specific problems. So there's no more guessing. And there's some patients, like I love my team, and I was just telling y'all earlier how great my team is, but there are some patients who will come into my institute, or potential patients. They'll come in and they just want to purchase products. I had a assistant and a patient told me this, that assistant, the patient walked in, or she was trying to buy products. She was a customer at that point. She was trying to buy products. And she starts to speak about her hair and scalp problems. And she said, oh, you need an analysis. I was so pleased because a lot of times people will just purchase a product and be disappointed because their product is not doing what they want it to do. But sometimes, you have something that's a more chronic case that you need to be seen. You just need to be seen. That's why I say if you can fix it at home, because I'm really, really, really an advocate for this whole home hair care, empowerment, education. You've got to learn how to take care of yourself, and your hair and scalp at home. But I also believe in getting the help that you need if you are not able to. And that's why I do the hair and scalp analysis. So I was really pleased. So 3 cheers. Yay, yay, yay for my team member, one of my assistants, who actually recommended that this patient get an analysis before she purchased all these products, and she didn't get the results that she wanted. But we're really good about holding your hand when you're long distance and you can't come into my institute. We're really good about holding your hand, and it's cyber hand, because I will email you and I will work with you. I will work with you and just really help you with anything that you need. I won't just let you be out there and not know what to do. I will definitely help you. So you just got to keep that in mind, because if you purchase, just especially folks out there who are, because I have so many of the people who tune in to us each and every week who actually purchase my products, and I really thank you for that. But I just want to really let you know that you're not going to purchase a product from me, the Lisa Ackberry line, and then not get any support. I will do that. Some of the things that I do like videos, like you may have a question. I was telling the caller earlier, I will do line per line on, the different questions, and I will just go over that question. And then there are other things that I do that are so important. I will write you a program. So if you have a particular product that you purchase, or you have a full program that you purchase, and I have some pre-written programs, but I also have you give me questions, answer questions about your hair, and then I give you answers, write you the program. And is natural hair, your hair, your hair naturally straight, you have itchy scalp, you have flaky scalp, tender scalp. So that's another way, if you're long distance, that I can help you with the, with just a long distance relationship. Okay, guys, this internet, I need to probably just stop looking at that, because I guess you're thinking, what is she doing there? She's drifting away. Okay, let's see. We've got some questions. Wait a minute. We've got a phone line. Let's go to that, and then we'll go to our chat room. Hi there, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. Do you have a question for me? Hey there. Okay, go ahead. I would highly recommend that if you have an itchy scalp. And callers, I know we have calls coming in now, so hold on. So I'm coming back to you. But I would recommend that you do see a trichologist first. The reason is because sometimes this is not something that is of a disease state or nature, and you can bypass the medicated products, because especially with the medicated shampoos, they tend to dehydrate the hair. So I would highly recommend a hair and scalp analysis to see if we can treat that naturally. Now, that's what I would recommend, but I never deny you the opportunity to get a second opinion from a dermatologist or anyone else. All right. Thank you so much for calling. And that caller wanted to know which you recommend that she see a dermatologist first or a trichologist. And I would recommend the trichologist for the reasons I just mentioned. Hi there, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. You have a question for me? Yes. What's your question? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, let me just tell you this, and this is something that, and this is an outstanding question, and thank you so much for it. But let me tell you this, the reason why they thought they couldn't do anything to it because they thought it was too much scar tissue around it, and they may have said that to you. But let me tell you, sometimes there's scar tissue that which has killed a follicle, but then sometimes there's just a blocked follicle, and that's probably where you get in the hair. Now, what can you do? Shampoo, clarify your scalp as much as you can, because what you do, if you can get that opening open, to the mouth of the follicle to open, then you're going to get a hair emerging. If that follicle is functioning, the hair is there. Make sure, don't let it dry out. You want to use, I would recommend our clarifying shampoo and our scalp treatment level 3I. And level 3, we may not be able to do the 3I because you haven't been a patient, but level 3 scalp treatment and the clarifying shampoo, absolutely. And please keep me posted, okay? You can do it, get it online from my website, or you can come, are you in Memphis? Okay, you can go call our institute at 901-380-4445. Call tomorrow. Okay, all right. It's 901 901 380 4445. Yeah, just talk to Nicole, and then just she'll get the scalp treatment level 3 and the clarifying shampoo, and if you need conditioner, she can help you with all that as well. Thank you so much for calling. You're welcome. Bye-bye. Okay, I wanted to get quickly to this question. We have about 3 more minutes before we go off the air. Chat room, we had a question. Where are you? Okay, she wanted to know about what's the difference between hydrolyzed protein and silk protein. They're really both hydrolyzed protein. It could be soy, it could be wheat, it could be or silk. But really on the hydrolyzed protein, it's mostly developed, the silk, let's start with the wheat, and then we'll go back to, with the wheat protein, is mostly developed from whole wheat, oats. I mean, that's what it's mainly derived from, just carbs. And then the silk protein, it's still all derived from protein, but it's mostly like soy protein. You can have, it forms a hydrating film protein on your hair. So it's really probably the best if you want to use that. But I can tell you, if you balance your proteins and moisture levels by using moisture binding agent, and I guess the silk protein would be the best one, I recommend highly that you use the proteins, because it's important to strengthen the hair, and the moistures is important to hydrate, because if not, it'll just dry out. But I was trying to rush the answer because we're about to go off the air. But please call in and text in and chat in next week, so that I can give a better answer to that question and give it more time. So sorry, guys. I spent so much time. I didn't pay attention to the fact that I had some questions lining up there. Okay, guys, well, this has been a great super show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you guys so much. This has been, and I've got the questions there. Yeah, you can email me, lisa@lisaakberry.com, and I will see you next Sunday. To God be the glory in Jesus. And I will see you Thursday or Wednesday on Ask the Hair Doctor. Same time, same place. Have a great Sunday. Bye-bye.
Guess who's inviting you to stay tuned to Mr. Mark Spencer.
Guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the show. And I can actually continue with this answer, guys, because that would be, yeah, I'm offline now. I'm off the radio show now. So now I'm going to move those back out of the way. Now, let's go back to the hydrolyzed proteins. Both the silk and the wheat, because usually it's going to be silk, wheat, and they're both, that hydrolyzed protein is derived from. The silk protein, you're basically getting that moisture retention film. It pretty much is just smooth, and it's gives it like a smooth, slick feel over the actual hair shaft. And you find this used think that both of them can be drying if you overuse them. You just have to have a really good balance. That's what I would actually say. Yeah. So, yeah, again, I'm going to do better with this answer. I've got to get out of the studio now, but I'm going to do better with this answer when we do our next show, guys. Thank you guys so much. It's just I've been so distracted by, and see, we're offline again. I've just been so distracted by that. All right, guys, I love you. To God be the glory in Jesus. You have a yeah, I think I was getting voice, but I wasn't getting video or video. All right, I love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.
AutoZone gift card by mail with a purchase of 2 Duralax Max Blade
Both of them can be tried.